The Pew Commission recommends that children have a voice in court and that children and families be represented in decisions that affect their lives.
But this time, at the age of 16, he actually stopped and said, "Mary, what do you want for your life?" And I said, "Well, I want what everyone wants. I want a family of my own." So the judge turned to the attorneys and my case manager and said, "Let's find Mary a family. Let's terminate her parents' rights and put her up for adoption." So I think it was awesome that he took the time to ask me, but I think someone should have done that 4 years before then. That, they waited too long. To spend 4.5 years in foster care is ridiculous. It's a waste of my childhood that I'll never be able to get back.
So let's take Mary Lee's story first. That graphically illustrates our recommendation that children and families have an effective voice in court proceedings. We don't know if Mary would have spent less time in foster care if the judge had only asked her early in the process what she wanted. What a simple question to ask, and yet what an impact that would have had on Mary's life. Children in our family courts don't have an effective voice unless they have effective representation.
The Pew Commission recommends that courts and agencies work together to better serve children and families.
I never, while I lived in a group home, I never appeared in court. I was never asked, what I wanted. I definitely, looking back, I would have liked either, for adoption, an option even of adoption to, I would have considered it.
It seems to me when you analyze your case, Jessica, that what we have is an instance of the right hand not knowing what the left hand is doing. Suppose the court had been collaborating with the Child Welfare Agency. Suppose that had happened in Jessica's case. Maybe she would have gotten the family that she wanted and needed.
The Pew Commission recommends that states organize courts to respond better to a child's urgent need for a safe, permanent family.
I don't know how someone can expect someone that's been drug addicted for X amount of years to go into a 30-day program and say you're fine, and expect that person to come out and be able to handle society, to know how to handle the children, more or less just to know how to walk around and just to be a decent person. For me, the intense treatment was more than needed.
Melissa's story, I think, illustrates beautifully that the right support services can keep families together and make foster care placement unnecessary. A more recent variation on this theme in our state is the Family Dependency Court. We now have 5 such courts underway in Michigan. These courts recognize that parental substance abuse is either the primary reason or a contributing factor in many child welfare cases. So in the dependency court, what we're doing is combining child protection with the therapeutic services for the drug-addicted individual.